Okay, now we will see how to do the bunny head. Okay, we have finished with the ears, tail and the hands. Okay, so now the bunny head. Row 1 will be magic ring and 6 single crochet in it. Okay, row 2 is an increase round, so 2 single crochet in all the stitches above, which will give you 12 stitches. Row 3 is also an increase round, so it will be single crochet then an increase. This will give us 18 stitches. Row 4 is going to be 2 single crochets and then an increase. We will have 24 single crochets here. Okay, now row 5 will be 3 single crochets and an increase. This will be 30 single crochets here. Okay, and in row 6 we will do only single crochets, but in this round I'm just going to tilt it. In this round we will attach the ears. So let's do till here and then we'll come back on how we will further proceed. Okay, so we are starting with magic ring and single crochet. You already know all of this. So after the magic ring you do 6 single crochets in this ring, and always remember yarn under method we are doing. So I'm just going to go, I'm not going to show it slowly because you already know all of this. So let's not waste time on this one. Okay, 3 4 5 and 6 single crochets. So we're doing the yarn under method, so that's why it is a little different from the regular crochets. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now we will hold and we'll gently pull this. Don't completely close it, just pull it, and then I'll show you the next round. Okay, sorry. Okay, now in the next round, round 2 is an increase round where we are going to do 2 single crochets in every stitch. Okay, so we will start. This is my first stitch, so I'm going to do 2 single crochets here, 1 and 2. This is your first increase. So you have to do two single crochet in every stitch, and that will give us 12 single crochets in this row. So let's do that and I'll meet you at the end of that row, end of this row, sorry. Okay, I have done row 2 is done, which is 12 single crochets is done. So the next row is single crochet. First single crochet I have done, put my stitch marker there. In the next stitch is an increase. Okay, on the third stitch we will do single crochet, then in the next stitch is again an increase. Okay, then following stitch is again a single crochet and then an increase. So we will continue this and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So I have finished my 18 stitches. So now is row 4 where it is 2 single crochet and then an increase. So this is my first single crochet, the next stitch, and I'm going to add my stitch marker here. This is the yarn running stitch marker that I use. Okay, and second one is also a single crochet, then there is an increase, okay, next 2 stitches is single crochets, 1 and 2, and then there's an increase. In this stitch there's an increase. So I will continue with this pattern and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so I am done with the 24 stitches. Now row 5 is 3 single crochet and then an increase. Okay, so this is row 5. I'm going to do single crochet, first single crochet, and then I'm going to increase. We need to make sure that we are taking the tail yarn, close it tightly, and let's weave it in the next round. Okay, So this is 1 2 3 and this is the increase. Okay, so I'll continue this pattern of 3 single crochet and then an increase, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so I'm at the last increase of row 5. This is my 29 and 30. Okay, in the next row, which is row 6, we don't have any increase or decrease. All that we have is we have to attach the ear in this round. So I'll show you how to do it. So in the first stitch you will do a single crochet. Okay, we are doing this so we can put the stitch marker. Otherwise it's okay wherever you want to do the attachment, but first one it's better to do it like this. Okay, now you have to attach the ears. We already did this 2 ears, hands and tail, right? So I'm just taking out the ears, only the ears I'm taking out. Now the ears they have this tail, and it is like this. Sometimes it's good to have the tail because we might need it. Okay, now this is your ears. Okay, now I'll show you something. I'm just trying to grab something so I can show that with it. Okay, sorry about that. So these are the 10 stitches that we did for the ears. Okay, this 1 2, all the 10 stitches are there. So what we are going to do when we are attaching, we will go through the front loop here, not these two, here front loop of this one and back loop of this one. This is the front. This I'll show it like this. Okay, supposing this is the circle, right? It's very tiny, so to show it is difficult. We will go through the front loop of this one, and the exact back we will go only through the back loop. You understood? So only the front. We are not going through this entire front and back and front and back. We are not going through this 4 stitches here. Why? Because then it will become bulky when you're stitching here. So what we are doing is we are going only through the front loop here and only the back loop here. You understand? Now you will see how I'm going to do it. I'm not going through the first stitch because there's no way you can, like, see how we can't go these 2 stitches. Okay, it is possible, so let's do that. So 1 2 3 and 4 stitches. We should be doing 4 stitches. Okay, so here. Okay, now the first stitch is done. For the second stitch we will go through the front loop here and the back loop. Okay, first on the hook, that's what we have. So we have the first working loop, then the front loop and the back loop of the ears, and now we will go in the stitch. This is the first stitch done. This is the second stitch place. So we will go normally how we do, both the under both the loops. Now yarn under, grab through and come out of all the loops. You will only have the working loop and the new loop. Now yarn over and come through like a single crochet, like a regular single crochet. Okay, now I'll show you again. Working loop, front loop of the stitch on the ear and back loop of the stitch of the ear. Then you will go into the, you will see, you just have to pull and see where the stitch is done. This is the undone stitch. Next stitch, go here, grab the yarn, come out of all the loops, grab the yarn and pull through. This is your stitch. Okay, at no point I'm going through the ear first and then the head. It's not like I'm going through the head and then the ear. I'm not attaching it like this. The ear should be on the top. Okay, I hope you've understood. Now we will do the next stitch also. So working loop, front loop of the next on the stitch on the ear, and diagonally opposite, whatever is the exact opposite, go only to the back loop. Now see where the stitch has to go in the head. Don't miss stitches because there will be holes in the project. Do it slowly but do it correctly, instead of rushing and making mistakes and then finally realizing the problems. Slowly but do it correctly. Okay, now we have done one, this is 1 2 3 stitches done. Can we do the 4th stitch? Let's try. Here, front loop of the next one. Okay, and the back loop of the, and go to the next stitch here, yarn under, bring through all the loops, then yarn over, and this is, so we've done 1 2 3 4. Why is this important? To see how many stitches we have done, because the other side also we should do exactly the same number of stitches, otherwise it will not look identical. So now we'll pull the yarn. Imagine this is the head, okay, and the ears are at the side, so exactly this is 4 stitches, so imagine you're putting it right in middle, then your this center of this should be this center, okay, and the center here. So here you just mark it 1, this should be 1 2 3 4, okay, or you can count and do it, either ways it works, but this has to be exactly the opposite. That's all you have to remember. Now this row we are not doing anything, we're just doing single crochet, we're just attaching the ear but doing single crochet. So just do single crochet till you find the stitch marker. Okay, so let's start. What happened? I've reached the stitch marker. I've reached it with single crochets. Now at the stitch marker I will take this out and again add the ears. So again the same thing, we will go through the front loop and the back loop of the ear, and then we'll hold the working yarn, sorry I hit the camera, and then the next stitch just go yarn under, pull through and single crochet. We will do this for the next 4 stitches. Okay, here front and the back loop. This is the third one, third stitch, and again the 4th stitch. Make sure this tail is pulled tight, okay, and the last one, first ones while attaching is always a little difficult, so just patiently do it, you will get it. I know you can't see here properly, but this stitch, yeah. Before I do the single crochet, I'm tugging on this here tightly. Okay, done. Now I will do single crochet till my stitch marker. So this is end of row 6. So row 7, what are we going to do in row 7? Let's see what we are going to do. I will show you the pattern and then we'll take it from there. Okay, okay, see you at beginning of row 7. I will see you. So in row 6 we attach the ears. Now we'll see what we're going to do in row 7. Row 7 is going to be the last increase round. So here you will do 4 single crochets and then an increase. This will give us 36 stitches. 36 stitches, okay. Sorry about my handwriting. Okay. Row 8 to row 12. To row 8 to row 12 there is no increase or decrease, it's just going to be 36 stitches. Okay, just a single crochet around. Row 13, we will start with decrease in row 13, so we will see that once we reach row 12. Okay, so let's start. So as I said, row 7 is a last increase round. So here we will do 4 single crochets and an increase. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how it is when after attaching the ears. So in the first stitch we will do a single crochet. Make sure you have your stitch marker, without that it will not come out like the way it should. That's your first single crochet. This is where we attach the ear. Okay, same, you can see the single crochet, you just go there. Second single crochet, third, fourth. In the 5th stitch we will do an increase. So 1 and 2. Okay, so 4 single crochets, then an increase. So you just have to continue to do this, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm on the last stitch of 7th row. So on the last stitch there's an increase. Whenever you're doing these increase or decrease, the last stitch will be an increase or a decrease. If you have more stitches after the increase or decrease, 1 or 2 stitches, that means that row somewhere it's a mistake. You need to go back, undo, practically undo, and fix it. Okay, now row 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, that is for 5 rows. We have no increase or decrease. We're just going to be doing single crochets. Okay, this is my 8th row. So now that there is no increase, decrease, there is nothing else, just single crochets, what we are going to do in this row is we are going to try and fix this tail yarn. So this tail yarn is completely closed now, it's fully tight. Now we will hold this. Okay, we will hold this along with the stitch above the hook. Just keep it above the hook. Okay, and just do your single crochet like normal. Just go in the next stitch and it'll be inside this stitch. Okay, in case you're not able to understand how to hold it, like you just hold it here and then go through the stitch under it, then pull the yarn and close. If you are not able to understand this, there's no problem. You can stop doing this. You can use your plastic needle and weave the yarn in and out. Okay, so then at least it is secure. So I am doing the row 8 and I will meet you at row 12. Okay, see you soon. So I have finished up to row number 12 and this is how it looks. Okay, this is how it looks on the inside, and this is how the ears are, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so let's see the pattern now. Okay, so class, I have done the bunny's head. This is how it looks. Okay, I'm just not going to change the angle of the camera. So this is how it looks. Okay, this is how the inside is, and this is from the top. If you look at it, this is how it looks. So now I'll show you this. Let me show it to you properly. Just okay, so imagine if you are not sure where you are, you can just count the rounds that you have. That's 1 round, 2nd row, 3rd row, 4th row, 5th row, 6th. You just count, then you find the 12th row. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that. Okay, now okay, now row number 12 is done. Now it is row number 13. From row 13, it's a decrease round. So it is 4 single crochet and a decrease. So at the end of the row, you will have 30 stitches. Row 14 will be 3 single crochets. Oh, sorry. 3 single crochet and a decrease there. This is 24 stitches here. Row 15 will be 2 single crochets and a decrease. This will be 18, and row number 16, yeah, row number 16 is going to be single crochet and decrease. This will be 12 stitches. Okay, let's start. So we are starting with row number 13 now. My first single crochet in the row. Make sure you add your stitch marker. I'll do this again, it's come off. Okay, first single crochet, 2nd single crochet, 3rd, 4th, and then a decrease. Decrease is always only through the front loop. Okay, that's your decrease. So we'll do this pattern, 4 single crochets and a decrease, and I will meet you at the end of the row. I'm done with row 13. I have 30 stitches now. The row 14 is 3 single crochet and a decrease. So this is my first single crochet. I'm just going to pull the yarn for stitch marker. 1, keep it nice and tight, okay? 1 2 3 single crochets done, and the first decrease. Okay, continue this pattern of 3 single crochets and a decrease, and I will meet you at the end. Yeah, so I am done with row number 14 with 24 single crochets. Now row 15 is 2 single crochets and a decrease. So this is my first single crochet, second single crochet, and then is my first decrease here. First single crochet, second single crochet, and then the decrease. So we will continue this, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, I'm done with row number 15. The last row of the head is row number 16, where it is single crochet and decrease. This is the last head row. Okay, first single crochet, the next stitch is a decrease, okay, single crochet and a decrease. At the end you should have 12 stitches. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. Single crochet and decrease, you continue till you come to the end. Now that the head is done, let's do the body part. I hope you can see this. Okay, in body we will start with row 1 with single crochet and an increase. Here you will have 18 stitches. Row 2 you will have 2 single yes, row 2 we will just attach arms, and just do single crochets. Okay, so there is no increase or decrease, but then we are just attaching arms here. Row 3 we will do an increase, which will be 2 single crochet and increase. You will get 24 stitches here. Row 4 we will do 3 single crochets and an increase. This will bring us to 30 stitches. Okay, here row 5 is a little slightly different in row 5. Just going to attach the camera. I hope you can see row 5. In row 5 what we are going to do is 14 single crochets, okay, then an increase, and again 14 single crochet and increase in the last stitch. This will give us 14 plus 14 is 28, 2 increases, so this will become 32. 30 and 2 increase will do 32 stitches. After this, row 6 to row 9, 6 7 8 9, okay, all the rows 6 to 9 we will just do single crochets in each round. You will have 32 stitches in each round. Row 10, I hope you can see. In row 10 we will just do single crochet, but in this row we are going to attach the tail, attach the tail, and do single crochet. At the end you'll still have 32 stitches. Okay, let's see how to do this, and after this we will have to do the legs. Okay, so the body, first row we are going to start. This is how the head is looking right now, right? This is how it is. I'll just zoom out a little, so this is how the head is looking. We have not stuffed anything yet. We will stuff at the very after, almost at that tail stage we are going to stuff, not until then. Okay, so this is how it is looking. Okay, now let's start. See, first row of the body is single crochet and increase. So first stitch is going to be a single crochet. I'm just going to add the stitch marker, and then in the next stitch we are going to do, and you can just hold it like this. If you're finding it difficult, just hold it like this, just pinch it and hold it, okay, and do the increase. 2 increases, 2 stitches in the same stitch, two single crochet in the same stitch, then again a single crochet, the next stitch is an increase stitch, okay. So we will continue this, and I will meet you at the end of the row 1 where we'll have 18 stitches, okay. So let me see you at the end. I'm done with row 1 of the body. 18 stitches are done. Now this row 2 we are attaching the arms, right? So first, for attaching the arms, first I'm going to remove the stitch marker so you can understand better. Okay, see, these tails we will finish it at the end, so just leave it. I'll tell you why it is required at the end. I will explain it to you. So this is your center. Align it correctly, okay. Pull it out like a ball and then align correctly. So this is the center, correct? So this is how the bunny is going to be. So the arm is going to come exactly, where is it going to come? It's going to, this is, we had 4 stitches here, correct? So right at the center of this stitch, you just look at this entire row and just see where it is coming to. This stitch is coming here, the second stitch, between the second and the third stitch, okay? That's where I'm looking at, not between the first and the second. Here, this line, okay, it's coming here. So I'm just going to put a stitch marker here for this side of the head also. I'm just going to look where is between this first, this is 1, 2 and 3 and 4, in between 2 and 3. I'm just going to look at that stitch exactly there, between the stitch here, right here is where it is. This is where it is, and just check again because it moved a lot here. So this is between 1, 2, 3 and 4, between 2 and 3, and the stitch comes right here. I'm just going to add a stitch marker. I'm not giving you the number of stitches, okay, because for each one the stitch size is different, the stitch looks different, so I'm not going, and if you count wrong then the count goes wrong, and then it imagine 2 ears and the hands are in the front or back, it doesn't look nice. So it's best you align it with your center points. If for any of you the number of stitches work better, then you count. It should be equal number on this side and equal number on this side, okay. Fine, now let's start. Here are my arms. This is 1 and this is 2. We have 2 arms. Again, long tails we have kept. I'll explain why long tails after, at the end I will explain it to you why we have it as long tails. So I'm here. I'm going to start with the first stitch as single crochet. There is no increase or decrease, so we're just going to be attaching the arms. That's all over here. Okay. Second stitch, nothing, just a single crochet. The third stitch is where the, in my bunny, it's the third stitch where we have to attach the arm. If it is third for you also, very good. Ears were different because we had not filled, we not stuffed, and we had not closed it, but arms we have closed it, okay. So just hold it in a way that you can work on it, work with it. So here are the slip stitches, the 4 stitches that you have done, but you can't go here in the first stitch. You can go second, 1, 2 and 3 stitches is enough for this. So go through the stitch again, like how we attach the ears, same way, but here instead of 2 stitches front loop back loop, we're just going through the entire slip stitch, okay, and go through the bunny's body, come out of both the loops, and then do a single crochet first time. Then in the next slip stitch we will do the same thing. third stitch. Just make sure you're not missing any stitches, okay? Pull this tail of the arms of the hand, just pull it tight so it's nice and tight, okay? Otherwise it will be hanging there. Just going to do this last part again, last stitch again. Whenever you're not happy with something, just undo and redo it, okay? It is better to do it like that than finish the project and find out some mistake has happened. So go through the stitch, just check. If you go at the back, you will be able to see all the stitches. Just go in the back, you know where the previous stitch has happened. In the next stitch, just grab the yarn, and before you do the single crochet, make sure the tail of the arm is nice and tight, okay? Hold it, pull these loops tightly, and then do the single crochet so everything is nice and tight. Then in the next stitch we will do a single crochet. Okay, we will continue to do the single crochet till we reach the stitch marker where we put for the next arm. Okay, so we will take this out. We need only 3 stitches, so remember it's only 3 stitches that we need. So we will go with the first stitch, see when you're doing this, how you've attached this with the tail on the side, so same way the tail on the side only, so then the orientation of the hand is same. Go through this and the next stitch, first one, second stitch, and third stitch. Remember with the tail you need to make sure the tail is also tight, yeah? This is the third stitch. Now do your single crochets and I will meet you at the end of the row. So I have done attaching the arm and that row is over. Okay, that is row number 2 of the body is done. So if you look at it, this is how it looks. This is the head and this is the arm. Just fluff it up a bit so you can see. This is how it looks. Right now it's all looking correct. It looks all same. This is the back. It's all looking okay right now, but only when we stuff we will see how it turns out to be. Okay, so row 3 is 2 single crochet and then an increase. So first single crochet and put a stitch marker here, second single crochet, and then it's an increase. Same stitch you will go inside and make second one. Okay, so we will continue this pattern till the end and I'll meet you when I'm done with 24 stitches in this row 3. I am done with row 3. Now row 4 is 3 single crochet and then an increase. So this is the 1, 2, 3. You have to make sure you're doing it all under the hook style, yarn under style, and also every stitch is nice and tight, otherwise your stuffing will be seen. It won't look good. It will look like very damaged piece. Okay, so careful. Okay, so we will do this pattern, that is 3 single crochet and an increase, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, this is my third. I have finished row number 4 with 30 single crochets. Make sure you are counting as you go. Okay, So then row number 5, you have to do 14 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I finished 14 and now the increase. So 1 and 2. So next will be another 14 single crochets and then an increase. Okay, 1, 2. I'll meet you when I'm done with 14. Okay, I've done 12. Now this is my 13 single crochet, 14th one, and in the last stitch it's an increase. Okay, just make sure you're doing it all tight. And for bunny you should keep counting. If you miss the count, it's not like duck. So bunny, you have to keep counting. Now you should have 32 stitches. Now row 6 to row 9, that is 6, 7, 8, 9. For 4 rows there is no increase or decrease, just single crochets. So you will just keep doing single crochets here. This is row 6 and I will meet you at row number 9. Okay, this is 6th row I'm doing right now. So I have finished up to row number 9. If you are confused where you are, remember we attach after the stitch marker. You have to look at this side. Remember we have attached the arms in row number 2. Then just count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this 9 starts here and it ends here. Okay, so that's how you count. So in row number 10 is when we are going to attach the tail. Before we do that, we will stuff this bunny. This is my sample project, so I'm stuffing with polyfill. You will be given the yarn color yarn, so you'll fill it with that. So you know the stitches are all nice and tidy. Make sure all the stitches are tight. Okay, so you need to fill it properly and nicely, so then the shape, see, otherwise if you don't fill properly the shape won't be good. Okay, so let me fill this and I will meet you. You have to put your finger inside and stuff it. Okay, just go inside. This is how you do the stuffing. Okay, if you can't reach it, then use your scissors or your back of your crochet hook or something, but then stuff it properly. I have finished stuffing the head. The head is nice and tight. It's tight. Now I'm trying to stuff the body, but if I stuff the body I can't do crochet, so I'll only stuff as much as I can, work with it, and then see, there's still space in the head. Okay, some more. Okay, I won't stuff it fully. I did this only to see how the bunny looks. Okay, now look at this. Can you see it clearly? This is on the sides, and then this is the arms. It's all nice and even. It's not one is back, one is front, nothing like that has happened. It is all sitting correctly. And if you turn this around, you can see this is the back. The way we started the stitch, we will do that back, the back there, because the hands look perfect on the front like this. Okay, so now that we know that, we can take out a little bit of stuffing. Let the stuffing be there just for you to be able to do the stitches. So in row 10 is when we are going to attach the tail. So how we will attach, since this is the back, because the starting is where the back is, where the stitch marker is where the back is. So we will do single crochet till we reach here, and then I will show you how to do the attaching the tail. Okay, so let's meet. I'll come back and meet you. Now I have done the 10th row with single crochets. I have not completed. There is still some stitches left. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stuff the bunny. So then, you know, when you're doing the tail, it should be centered. So you're just going to stuff the bunny. just hold it like this. I hope you can see because there's a lot of tail here, so it's difficult. So this is the center. If you can see, this is the center. This is between the ears. This is the center. So if it goes right around down like this and comes here, this is the right in the middle. Okay, this is the middle. So see again, from here, if you keep going down in a straight line, this is where it comes. Okay, so that means I still have, we had 32 single crochets, right? So that means we need to do 29 single crochets, and that's when we start attaching the tail, in case you want to understand with row stitches. I'm just removing the stuffing so it's easier to work. Okay, so this is the center, so we can't put the tail on the center, then the tail will be on this side. It has to come in between. Okay, so where is my tail? I have already done this. Yeah, this is my tail. So same like how we had attached the ears, we will do the same thing. I'm just going to tie this a little more stronger. Okay, this is done. So now we need to attach it with 3 stitches, then only then it is a center. If you do 2, it won't work. If you, or we can do 2, no, it's best we attach it with 3 stitches because we only did 6 stitches, right? So these 2 are at the edge. Okay, let's do 2 stitches. Let me try again. Sorry, where is the tail? Sorry about that. So let's do 3 stitches. Okay, then it's the center. So before we go into the stitch, we need to go into the front loop of the tail, front end of the tail, and then the back loop of the back. Then go through the next stitch, that is 1 stitch before the center, do the single crochet, pull through all the loops, then a single crochet. This is first one. Next one will be in the stitch marker. So you will go through the front loop of the next stitch and the back loop of the back, the just behind whatever the stitches in that, and yarn under, pull out all through the loops, and there go, second one done. And this is the third one. Okay, so just if you can't see where the stitches, just you have to just pull this back and you'll be able to see where you are. You've already attached the ears and the hands, so this is not very difficult for you. Okay, make sure you have this long tail here. Okay, I will tell you why we are having this long tail, but make sure it is there. Okay, now we are going to start with the legs. Let me start. We are going to start with the legs. Okay, so for right now, this is the ears, this is the head, and this is the arm, and this is the body, and this is the arm, and this is the body. This is where we are. On the back we've attached the legs. I mean, attached the tail here, we've attached it here. Now we will, whatever space is there, we're going to divide it into half, and then we're going to do single crochets like this, like 5 rows, and then this side 5 rows. That way the legs are done. Okay, it's very simple, easy method. So row 1 of legs will start, this will be only one side of the leg, not both legs. Okay, one side of the leg. You will see me doing in the video, you'll understand. First is a decrease, and then you do single crochets. Whatever the number of single crochets you have, row 2 to row 5, you will do single crochets. You will repeat for leg 1 this is, and for leg 2 it is the same thing. For the, let me, after you finish here, you're not stuffing, don't stuff here. Okay, for the other leg it will be row 1 will be single crochets around last it will be a decrease, okay, and then R2 to R5 will just be single crochets, okay. So let's see how it is done. You will understand better when you see the video. I have removed the stuffing from the body just to show you how it looks. You know, if it's okay to keep the stuffing in it. If you are not comfortable, then you can take it, but then again you'll have to put it back immediately in one row. You'll have to put it back, otherwise it will become difficult to put the stuffing in. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This stitch is done. There's one more stitch in this row left, so we will finish that row. No, yeah. Okay, now we will do a decrease. Decrease. So in the first stitch it's going to be a decrease. Okay, so now this is the body of the bunny. You see the exact opposite. If you keep exactly the opposite, the middle stitch what you did, 1 2, you have done one single crochet, second single crochet, third, this middle, that is the exact middle of the other side. So you can put a stitch marker here just so you know where it is. If you are not sure if the stitch marker is correct, so this is till where your last stitch is done. Now you can count how many your stitches are there and just put it correctly. So this side is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15, and here it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15. So it is correct. For me it is correct, but each of us have our own way of doing things. Sometimes the stitch has gone here and there. This is the time to correct it. So I'm going to do a decrease here. We are doing decrease where the tail is, okay. So that's your decrease. And we will do single crochet till the stitch marker. I'll just keep doing single crochets till I reach the stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do at the stitch marker. Okay, so let me do the single crochets and I'll meet you. I finished 14 single crochet. I'm at the stitch marker. I'm going to take it off. Okay, in the next stitch I will go through the front loop of the stitch, only the front loop, and exactly the middle stitch of the tail where we are stitching the tail, we will go through the back loop, okay, and then do a single crochet. Okay, simple. You understood how it looks? This is how it looks. You understand? Now I will go around and do single crochets. I started decrease here, so I should be going this side. But before I do that, I'm going to do the stuffing, because otherwise I can't do stuffing in such small holes. Okay, so this is where the stitch was. I'm going to put my stitch marker back just in case this unravels, then it goes off, right? So that's why I'm putting the stitch marker back. When we have tools, we should use them. I'm just going to put stuffing as much as I can now, and then we will stuff again, but for now as much as I can, because I need to still crochet. We can't fully stuff this. It still needs to be a little space, so then we can. Okay, so there is still, see, almost only half is filled, so I'm just going to do the stitch now so you can see how it looks. I will hold the stuffing with my finger. Only the front loop of the side of the stitch, exactly the back, only the back loop. I don't know if you can see. I hope you can see only the back loop. And I'm going to do yarn under method. Bring the yarn out. Okay, make sure it is nice and tight, okay, and then do your single crochet. It's nice and tight, okay. Now this is the stitch we did. Now we have to go back here. Sorry. So when we are done, you have to remember your stitches should be always from the outside, like from here, not from here. Like how I went here, it should never be that way. You finished a single crochet. Now come to the next stitch here and do your single crochets. Okay, don't worry about this hole and everything, we will come to that later. For 5 rows you need to do just single crochets, and don't finish it and don't stuff it. Okay, let's just do 5 rows of single crochets. So I'll just show you one row so you're not confused with how I'm doing this. Make sure you're doing it tight, that's all that is very important. So when you come here, you just have to consider this like a stitch and just keep doing your single crochets. In the middle you'll have one stitch here where you did the joining. Okay, it will not be clear in the stitches, but you know you have done the stitch, so you just have to do your single crochets. Okay, now row 1 is row 1 was joining, now the row 2 is done. We'll do up to row 5 and I'll meet you. So I have finished here for 5 rows, and just put a stitch marker here and put a long tail here. Okay, this is a long tail because we have not finished it, and I've attached yarn here. You know how to attach anyway, I'm going to show it to you again. Not at the place where we are starting, and we are not going to start here. Okay, because we have to do from always from right to left. Here if I start here near the tail leg, because we started here on this side of the leg, we started next to the tail. If we start here, then immediately this place it will not have enough tension on the yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it here, not this stitch where we are going to be attaching. In the next stitch here I'm going to attach the yarn. How do I attach? I'm just going to take a loop, come out here, and then make a chain. In the next stitch I will go and make a single crochet. Okay, this is done. Now it is tight. Now what I will do is I will keep the yarn out and stuff this, because after once it becomes tight like this, it's very difficult to stuff. Now there is opening, so you have access to the body. Now you should stuff. Okay, so let me stuff and I will show you how to do this. You just have to keep going inside and you keep stuffing. If you are not able to stuff, then you take a scissor and you just keep pressing. This is for my yarn, for the my stuffing, this is the polyfill, but for your yarn also this should work. Okay, just take little yarn every time, little stuffing every time. Don't go with lot of stuffing, then it is very difficult and the shape will not look nice. So keep taking little by little and keep stuffing. You just need to press it, fold it and press it, fold it and press it, it will go inside. This stitch might come out, so I'm just going to pull this loop. Okay, let me stuff this and I'll meet you. I've done the stuffing. Now if I keep pushing it here, then it will keep coming out on this leg, which is good. It's not a bad thing, let it come. So you need to do, it should be nice and stuffed. The head will be more tighter than this, the body will still be loose because we are not closing it yet, but stuff as much as you can. Okay, so I'm going to do the single crochets now. Remember, till you reach the tail it's just single crochets, and at the tail there's one decrease. Okay, that's how we did for the other leg, so we will follow the same step. So let me keep doing single crochets till I reach the tail. I'll meet you there. So there's 3 stitches here. We have to do one what is that called, decrease as well. So we will do one single crochet here. We will do a decrease before we reach the tail. Just only the front loops for the decrease. It's tough because I made it really tight, right? So it's a little tough, but you should be able to do it. Yeah, here you go. Okay, now there is one more stitch here. Now, sorry, there's no stitch there. So here we will go into the same stitch where we connected this. Okay, we will go in there. Here also we will go first. Let's finish this. We will go in the tail, the third stitch where we did. We'll just go there and then go in the same stitch where we have done the previous, for the previous leg. The same stitch will go, come out, and then do a single crochet and tight. Okay, now all that we need to do is just keep doing single crochets now till we reach the other side, till we reach row 5. Okay, once row 5 is done, then we will see what we're going to finish, how we're going to finish this. Okay, so I'll meet you when we are at row 5. Now you know how to do the single crochet, so I'm not going to show you. So I have finished both the legs now, so I'm going to just try and tidy it up as much as possible. Remove the stitch marker. If you look at it, it should look symmetrical. The one leg tall, one leg short, it should not be like that. It should look, both should look symmetrical. If this one is a little short, I feel this is a little shorter, so then I will come, this is the yarn that I've already cut, right? So I'll just make one more round with this yarn. So that is, instead of row 5, we are doing row 6. This really depends, you know, how far you have pulled your yarn, how far it is from the tail, like is the, so it's a lot of things. The height of the leg differs on a lot of things, not just the number of stitches. So that's why we are not finishing or counting the rows as much on this legs. Okay, just to make sure both looks identical. And the number of stitches also, when you're doing, you should make sure that both have same number of stitches. Only then it will look same, otherwise it will, one will look big and one will look small. So now I think it still needs to go one more round here. That's why we had cut the yarn nice and long, just because in case we need it. Sorry. And also we have not finished it, right? We still need to do the decrease. So now just check if it looks all same. Still we are not closing it. What we're going to do is we're going to stuff this, and after stuffing we will again check how it looks. So we will just pull the yarn out. The loop we will keep it big so that it doesn't unravel. Okay, I will stuff this and I will come back. So this is how I will stuff it. I will just keep going inside this and I will just grab the stuffing and just keep pushing inside. It will take you a while because it's a small space, right? So it's going to take some time, but you have to patiently do this, otherwise it won't look good. It look like a damaged piece. So you have to do this slowly until you get a good stuffing into it. See, it looked like all that stuffing was too much, but actually it is going in. So now I know I can stuff more, but I'm not going to stuff in that leg. I'm going to stuff in the other leg. So then just to make sure that both sides are equally stuffed. Now if you look at it, see, one looks very short and one looks tall because there is no stuffing on the side. So that's why we don't finish it. Okay, let me do the stuffing and I'll come back. So all the stuffing is done. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So all stuffing is done, and now in this row we are going to do decrease. Okay, all stitches there's a decrease. So go through the front loop of this next stitch, and the next 2 stitches you need to go in only the front loop and do a decrease. Okay. Okay, you do a decrease in all the stitches and I'll meet you at the end. I finished the decrease on both the legs. I've done the stuffing. It looks same to me on both sides. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out this yarn and I'm now going to carefully finish this. Okay, I'm just going to pull this yarn first. Now take your plastic needle. Okay, now this is where we've come out. In the next stitch you'll go from the outside, the following stitch from the inside, like this, like how you do shoelace, no, like that, one from this side, one from the other side. So from the outside again, then from the inside. Don't go inside the same stitch, okay? It will just unravel if you do that. I think I've covered all the stitches now. Now slowly, just after all this hard work, now just gently, slowly you should pull. If you tug at this too much, then the shape will spoil, like how the heart had become for some students. Okay, so make sure you just gently do it. So now you still have a long tail, let it be there. I'll tell you what we need that for. Now we will pull out the loop on the other leg and we will finish the other leg also. We're going to sorry, I'm not well, so my throat is bad. So I'm going from outside, then from inside, then on the next stitch from the outside and inside. Okay, if it is not done properly, it won't look nice, so you have to be careful. Just check if you're going through all the stitches. Again from the outside, the inside. Now all the stitches are done. Now you have, this is your guiding leg. Okay, this one, same like this leg has to come. So just pull it like this at the same length. Just keep it at the same length. Okay, we will finish it later. Now what are we going to do? Okay, let all this be there. See, now first let's start from the ears. Are these ears in the same spot? Is it centered? If it is not centered, then you have this tail to move. You just one stitch you can move a little here or a little there by pulling the stitch and stitching it to the next stitch. That's why we left the tail, just in case, you know, in the final, because I know you all are struggling, so you all are still learning and it is still new for you all. That's why I told you to leave the tail, just in case, you know, one stitch here, one stitch there, you can still, you have the tail to work with it. But mine is okay, it's all centered, so I'm not going to do it. But in case you have in case your ear is not at the right spot, it is just one stitch here or there, then if you have to move it this side, all that you need to do is just for one stitch you just pull the yarn here and then stitch it here. Okay, if it is on this side you want to move it, then you need to come through this, just bring your yarn, you bring your yarn here, just make sure you have threaded the needle. This is all because you're still learning. Okay, so here, and then you have to pull it this side, up to you. Right now mine is okay, so I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to weave the tail ends. I'm just going to go inside the bunny head. I'm going to come out like this. Okay, one time, and immediately in the next stitch you need to go and come out. Okay, and now this little excess what you have, you can snip this off. Same thing for this here, you need to do the same thing. Now you have a little the tail that you have, if you want it to adjust it, you can use it to adjust. If not, but only one stitch, it can't do more than that. Okay, so make sure while sewing the ears you have made sure that it is centered. It's very important. Okay. Okay, now the ear is done, this part is done. Now at the hand, same thing, you have a long tail, just to adjust if the tail is if the hands are not centered. If it is all centered, then no need to worry, you just need to weave the yarn. So for me it is all looking all right, so I'm just going to weave the yarn. The shorter tail, I'm just going to use that and do it. One time, two time, three time. This is secured now. I'm just going to cut it off. Okay, now the other tail, the hand with a longer tail, what I'm going to do is, if both hands need fixing, then use the tail to fix, no need to adjust the neck. So for me, I feel the neck could have been a little more tighter, right? It will look better. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go inside of the next stitch and go under the next stitch and then come out again. So I'm going to go in and out, like weave it in and out around the neck. Do it neatly so nothing can be seen. If you put too much of yarn coming out, it will be seen. So just very gently and nicely you need to do this. So the yarn on the inside will be more, on the outside it will be less. Okay. Okay, I think I've come to the starting point now. What I will do is, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tug. I'm just going to pull it little nicely. Okay, see, it looks nicer now. Okay, after this is done, go into the next stitch that is available and go through the loop and pull it tightly. Okay, and do one more and then you can weave it. This is the second one I'm going to do. I'm just showing you everything that I'm doing, so then when you're doing, you don't have any doubts. Okay, now here, now I'm going to go up into the head, come out like this. But more than the neck, the centering of the hands are more important. So if you need your tail for that, just use it for that. Okay. Okay, now the tail. Now if you look at the front, see the tail is here. It doesn't look nice, right? So what we are going to do is, we are going to take the tail of the tail. Okay, you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, and now just go through random stitches here. Again, first center it. If that is more important, center it and then go through random stitches. Sorry. Okay, come to as much as possible to the tip. Okay, as much as possible, not to the exact tip, just come here. Once you're here, pull it like this and put a knot here behind the bunny's bum. Okay, just put a knot here. One, go into another stitch here and do a second knot. Okay, so the tail is now nice and up. Now you can go inside the bunny any way you want, bring it out. nice and sitting tight. Okay, one more time we need to make sure the yarn is secure. So we will go in the next stitch and come out of somewhere else. And cut. Okay, now the ears are done, hands are done, tail is done, only the legs. Legs, you really need to be careful. You can't pull it, you have to be careful, otherwise the entire shape will get spoiled. So very carefully you need to handle. So I'll show you what to do. We are making 5 bunnies. I told you to make 5 bunnies. So in 5 bunnies, 2 will have the chain for the key rings and 3 of them will not have it. Okay, you understand? Only for 2 you need to do the chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see which tail is longer. Whichever tail is longer, I'm going to thread that one. Sorry. Yeah, now I'm going to go right in middle of the stitch and bring it out somewhere. Okay, see, because we stuffed it nice and tight, it is really good. Okay, now don't pull it. Okay, just try and bring it closer. Now when it is reaching the end point, put your finger in like this, put your finger in and then pull it so that other end comes out. Okay, now finger inside, gently, very gently it comes here, then another finger, little finger, and again close it, and then very slowly, now just a little loop is left, so very slowly you will just, you're not pulling it at all, just bringing the yarn out, that's all. Okay, now what we will do, we will take this yarn from here, go into the next stitch. Careful, don't pull too much, the yarn is still attached to the leg. After this it's okay. Okay, now go into the next stitch and try to reach the center of this. This is for the key rings only. Okay, if you're not able to reach the center, it's okay, reach wherever you can and come out carefully. Don't pull anything tie too tight. The shape of the head, shape of the hand, nothing needs to get distorted. Now from here I will try and reach the center, not the exact center, around the first stitch I will come, not the exact center. Okay, so just coming here again, gently, very gently, so that the, see, I'm just like very gently smooth. Okay, actually just little more. Okay, that's it. Now what I will do is I will go from the next neighboring chain from somewhere here anyway, and pull a loop out of here and then do a chain 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then go back where you came from and do a slip knot. Sorry, just do a slip knot here. It's just okay, and slip knot is done. Tighten it and then again go take the loop, yarn through the loop. You're done. Okay, and now we will once again weave the yarn. Okay, similarly for the other leg also, we're just going to weave it. We don't have to do anything, just make sure you gently pull it, don't pull it with any force. Okay, so you don't do things like this, do it slowly. Okay, so I will meet you at the after we are done that. We'll meet to see how we are going to do the eyes and the um, eyes and the nose. Yeah, I will show you how we are going to do that. For now, just weave it and I'll meet you next. While weaving the yarn for the other leg, just have a look here. See, there is some holes. Okay, so what we will do is, first you will gently pull this out into a good stitch. Okay, just pull it out of a good stitch gently. Okay, make sure the shape of the leg is not distorted at all. Okay, now go back here and see wherever there is a hole, you just need to stitch it up, right? You need to go under that, come out of the next stitch. Okay, let's do the bigger stitches now. First I'm going here. Sometimes there is no issue, sometimes there are issues, so you just need to fix it with this, because we are not doing the legs separately like how we did the ears, so that's why we need to make sure that the holes are all closed. Okay, this, try and do the X pattern if you can. If you can't, it's okay, just close the holes. You understand what I'm saying, right? So just finish that and I'll meet you. I'm just doing the X pattern, so you don't have to follow me. You can do however you can manage. So all the stitches are closed here, the tail is done, the hands done. For the key rings, only for 2 of the teddy bear bunny rabbits I need the key rings, for rest of them we don't need it. Okay, so now we're going to see how are we going to do the eyes and the nose. Okay, so now for the eyes, we have given you those pins, right? So use those. This is the line where the ears are joined, so just go below that like this and like this. See if you're happy with it. Try to use the same color so you can judge it better. Okay, and then the nose has to be in the center, right? So center here is the nose. Okay, and the nose length of the nose will be like a little triangle. Okay, this is how. Just look at it. Does it look all right? Take your time. Okay, once you're done stitching, then you can't undo this, so take your time, look at it. Does it need to go a little here or there? So in between this there is 4 stitches. Maybe if you do it a little away. No, I think this is too much. 1 2 3 4 and 5 stitches. I think this is better. Then 1 row in the middle, below the eye, 1 row I've left it. Then in the next row I put the nose in the center. Then the row below that I put in markers in like a triangle to make sure we have a nose. Okay, so I'll show you how to do the eyes now. Okay, now that the bunny is done, now we need to do the eyes and the nose. Okay, so we've already placed all the markings, so we'll take the brown yarn to make the eyes, and we will take a long strand. We'll like something like this. Okay, this is, if I fold it in half, it is like this length. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this. Okay, now I'll show you how to do the eye with just a simple knot. I'm going to move the bunny away. So imagine this is your strand and you're going to just make a knot just like this. You always make a knot like this, right? 1, but we will do it 2 times. Same thing, third time we'll go again, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, 7, and one last 8 times. Okay, so I've done 8 times. Okay, now it looks something like this. Okay, so now very gently you will hold this end and this end and slowly try to bring it to the center. Okay, if there's one end that is longer than the other, then you need to pull that end. Okay, make sure you're trying to do it in center. Don't bring it to one end. Okay, slowly. The eyes are very important, so all your hard work will depend on how beautiful your eyes are. See how big it is now. This is really big, right? Now I'm going to gently hold this and then gently pull on the ends. Not tight. I'm not going to make it tight yet, okay, because we need 2 eyes. Okay, so I have made it. Now I still feel it's a little big for this bunny's eye, so I'm going to still slightly go and try and reduce it. Okay, understood? So you need 2 of them, so try and make them as similar as possible. See, I already have done one, so this is even smaller, so try to bring it to the same. Okay, you can do it now, or you can fix it on the bunny and see if the eye looks good. See, there is one end which is smooth and round, and on the other side is the knot. So here, this is the smooth end, and then this is the end with the knot. Okay, so we will try to keep the smooth end on the front of the face. Okay, so what we're going to do is knot with a plastic yarn. You can do it with plastic yarn, but the finish is better if you're going to use the metal yarn needle we gave you. So just thread the yarn into the needle. I'm sorry, I don't think so we can use the metal needle for this. The yarn is too thick for it, so we will use the plastic needle itself. Okay, yeah. Now you see where the eye marking is. You remove make sure you keep your hand there and remove, and quickly you put your needle there. Okay, and go right at the back. I hope you can see. I'm going right at the back here. Okay, and come out. Hold when it is near the eye, hold the knot and pull the yarn so that the end comes out, and gently pull it, gently. Okay, it is like this now. Now take the other end, go through the needle. Okay, now if you can see, I've gone in this stitch. Now I'm going in one stitch below it, but I have to come out at the same stitch I came out at the previous. Here I have to come out exactly here. Okay, now don't pull it fully, keep it little loose. Okay, just pull out the end yarn only. So we have not stitched it anything, it's still loose. Okay, now we will fix the other eye also. We are doing this so we can see, make sure both eyes look equal and same. Okay, so we will finish it only when we are 100% sure that the eye is correct. So I'm going to take it out here, same level. If you are not sure, we will be able to put it in the same level. Put your needle and then take this out. Okay, and then make sure you're going in the same stitch, but at the back coming out like this. Okay, hold the knot here and then pull the yarn. Okay, then the yarn is like this. Go through the other end, just like how we did the previous eye. What we have done in the below stitch, you will go and make sure you are coming out. This is very important. It has to come out not one stitch away. It has to come out not like this. Okay, exactly the same point where the previous yarn is coming out. Okay, hold the eye and then pull out the yarn. So both the yarns are here. Now adjust it, just pull both of them slightly, gently pull it. Take your time when you're doing this. Even if you're going to spend a good 1 hour on this, it's okay, because this is the make or break of your bunny. See, now this looks bigger and this looks smaller. You cannot make the smaller one bigger, but the bigger one you can definitely make it smaller. How do you make it smaller? You pull it out a little bit like this, then slightly, just little bit, okay, and then again slowly gently pull this back. Adjust it till you are happy that both eyes are looking same. Okay, I think a little more is needed. Always do little by little, don't be in a rush, because if once it's tight, then you cannot, then you'll have to adjust this one. Even though the bigger eye look prettier, we'll have to go with smaller eye because of that problem. Okay, now see, done. Now before you finish it, what we're going to do is this glue, I kept it flat here because only then it comes out easily, otherwise it takes a little bit of time to come out. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a little bit of glue. See, just a little bit of glue is enough, not too much, just this much is enough. We're going to apply it on the back of the eye, just to make sure it is secure now. Okay, now it is secure. One second, it's just taking a little bit of time. Okay, okay, see, now it's sitting. Okay, now at the back you have to make sure it comes out of the same stitch. That's the very important thing. I'm just going to keep the glue on the side. One knot, nice and tight. Don't pull the eye, just nice and tight knot, that's all. Second knot, 2 knots are enough. This will not come out now. Okay, now you will take a scissor and you will cut the excess. Okay, same thing on the other side. One time and just a little tighter. Second time and here. Cut this. Okay, so in the front it looks like this, in the back it looks like this. Now what we're going to do is always use the spin for the glue. Okay, don't go directly with the glue on the material because it just makes it look very, the finish does not feel nice. It just makes it very stiff in that area. Just put just a little bit of glue, you know. That's all I'm putting. Okay, that's all, just a little bit of glue. Then you take your needle and with your back try and push it. It won't go, but try, you can push it inside, and this one also. Okay, the glue will make sure it doesn't come out. Yeah. At the back you should not see the brown at all. The eye should not be seen at all. On the front, this is how the eyes are. That's easy, isn't it? Okay, we're going to do the nose now. I've taken a pink color yarn for this. Now you see this is a triangle. Okay, not necessarily we are making a triangle, but we know there's a triangle, so you know where exactly you had your point for the triangle. Just go there and come out of the back. Just pull one yarn so the other yarn is still in the front. Sorry. Okay, I hope you can see. I'm going to leave a long tail here. Then I'm going to come back in the same, from the same stitch you have to come back and come into the same stitch here in the front also. Okay, First we are creating a points where we need to stitch this. First we will do the straight nose. Sorry about that. I'm going to remove these pins because it's poking me. Okay, so there is one stitch now. Okay, now go back in the same stitch from where you came. Okay, second time. If it becomes tight and it's pulling on you, just go through this stitch here like this and loosen it a little bit. Okay, see, it's okay now, it's loosened a little bit, right? We did 2 times. Okay, now going back in the same stitch. This is third time. Okay, I'm just going to hold this here so then it does not bother me. Okay. Now go back in the same stitch. We're going to do this like 6 times to make sure that the nose is sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay, 4 times we've done. Now 5th time. This is just 1 stitch down, okay, nothing major. For the bigger plushy bunny that we have, we will have it in a bit little slightly different. We'll have it every time it feels that it's been pulling and tugging, you just have to go under this carefully, not damaging it. Just create a little bit of hole like this. Okay, now it looks good enough actually. So I'm just going to come out of the same area here. There. Now this is the last one, right? So I'm just going to hold on to this nose, and because I don't want it to pull now. Okay, after all this, I'm just going to loosen this a little bit like this. Okay. Now I'm going to make a knot here. 1 time. And this is 2nd time. You can leave a longer tail in the starting itself. So, and now you can cut this here. Same as the eyes, you will just add a little bit of glue. This is enough. Use your needle to just make sure you're going under the space here, and when there is space you can push the glue inside it. It's a little tricky. If you can't do it, you can do other way. Just pull the yarn a little bit like this, okay, and then you can apply the glue, and do the same on this edge. This is so that the nose doesn't come out, because it's not crochet, right? We're just stitching it. I'm just going to put some yarn on this tail end. Because there is glue, it will not come out. Okay, and that is your bunny ready. I hope you enjoyed making this, and you'll make many such bunnies, and let's meet in the class and discuss more. Okay.